Hey, bourbon brothers and sisters, Angry Mac here. And today I would like to talk about something that, in certain circles or certain elite groups, is a little controversial: the homemade barrel project. We have a group of people who don't approve. Their idea is let's leave the blending and the barrel projects for the experts. Well, my take on it is have fun. Why are we leaving it for the experts? Listen, I've had enough bad whiskey and bad bourbon and bad scotch by the experts. Why not give the regular guy a try? You may find something that's absolutely spectacular. So what I have here are two different homemade projects. One by Bourbon Theory Bill. This is the Old Fitzgerald Cherry Vanilla Cola Finish, coming in at 100 proof. Old Fitzgerald, I wonder what the base alcohol was in there. I don't know, maybe Old Fitzgerald. And then I have a Buffalo Trace Pharmacy, a Dr. Pepper from my man Andy, Block and Barrel. These are two different expressions. Buffalo Trace, I don't know if you can see it, the eagle is there. This was an Eagle Rare 10. So the base whiskey is Old Fitz, my guess is the Old Fitz 7, and Eagle Rare 10. As we all know, two bottles that found at MSRP aren't costing you an arm and a leg. So to start right there, we're going with a fair to excellent pour. Now, we have to look at it. At some point, somebody looked at a perfectly good bourbon or whiskey and said, you know what? I can make that better. Whether that person was an expert, whether that person was a blender, whether that person worked for Buffalo Trace or some craft distillery, over some guy like me just sitting here in his basement, something great came out of that, because we're getting some great finished products these days, some absolute banger finished products, but it started somewhere. Now, I like to think that you can go buy a 5-gallon, a 2-gallon, a 10-gallon, whatever you want at your house, and try to figure it out. The worst thing that can happen is you're losing some money. The best thing that can happen is you can make some great things. You can share with your friends. You can get some cool labels and have just a great time. So, when you look at it, you're getting this barrel, you're putting in your time, you're getting some great labels. You're not only are you creative with what's in the barrel, now you're creative. What bottle am I going to use? What kind of cork is going to go in a bottle? It's going to be a screw top. What is this label going to look like? And now there are so many avenues to create labels and buy bottles and do all these incredible things just for the regular guy sitting in his basement like Angry Mac. However, Angry Mac's not going to do it. That's out of his league. So I've had many barrel products. Some of them are absolutely damn delicious. Some of them, not so much. I'm going to be reviewing some that I have here at the house over the next few weeks. If you have any you want to send an Angry Mac. I'll tell you how they are. The only thing I can guarantee you're going to get from me is a genuine opinion. I tell you, if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you it's not for me, because I understand the value and the time and the effort you put into it, and I respect the process. So let's think about some intricacies of the barrel project if you choose to undertake this mission. First of all, you have your base whiskey. You're not taking a Malort and making it great. You're not taking Dickel and making it great. Yes, and I said it, I'm not a fan of Dickel. Keep trying, can't find anything that hits my palate. You're not making it great. So what you need to do is you need to get yourself a decent base bourbon, whiskey, whatever your heart desires. You want to blend to, blend to. It's up to you, because this is where your creativity gets to show. But when you're finishing, what do you want to finish in? I spoke to the master distiller at Kings County about barrel projects, and he recommended filling your barrel with vodka. First, fill it with vodka, clean it out. The vodka is going to take out the impurities, and you may have some nice vodka when you're done, he said. Then you put the water in, and then you figure out what you're going to season it with. After it's not leaking, after it's been swollen a little bit. And this is just his advice. I'm not a master anything. My wife will tell you that. My kids will tell you that. Most people are going to tell you that. However, you want to choose, what am I going to put in there? And how long? Time is not always your friend. More time in the barrel doesn't mean it's going to taste better. You may get some more oak, which ruins the whole process, which I've heard stories. The oak is not your friend in this case. You can get wine barrels. You can put the wine barrel in there, and then you can put the wine in there, season it up, and you're going to get some fruit, you're going to get some tannins, you're going to get some dryness. So that's a flavor. You can put maple in there. We all know what maple syrup tastes like. You're going to get that thick, viscous maple, that real sweetness. You can put in beer. Beer barrels, interesting. Beer barrel finishes come out like chocolate. Southern Collective did a stout that was unbelievable, but Bardstown did a stout which I didn't like for at all. The beer stouts are really hit and miss for me, but again, worth a try. I don't know what you're going to put in. Maybe some old Rheingold, some PBR, and season it up and put something good in there. An IPA would probably be the best if you just ask my opinion. But you're going to get that chocolate roasty taste, you would think. You can go with rum barrels. Now, if you want to go with a rum taste, you're going to get that fruitiness, that tropicalness, that thick molasses. These are all your typical flavors. And if you want to be real daring, you could use spirals, Amburana, Cognac, Armagnac. You could really, really figure things out. You could do a honey maple. You have everything in front of you. All the choices are yours. You could really go crazy with this. Absolutely crazy. I happen to think it's a great idea. Now, you want to think that if the whiskey isn't good going in, you're not going to make it better. However, if it's a success, who doesn't like a good cover band? Just saying, you're going to take the original, turn it into it, make it a cover. One of the greatest covers ever is Satisfaction. Go listen to Devo. They may have won up the Stones on that one, just saying. But you think about it. You're taking something and making it your own. Share it with your friends, as I said. Now, what makes a great barrel project? First of all, you want to make sure it still tastes like whiskey. These are just my opinion, You want to make sure it's balanced. You want to make sure what you're putting there isn't the overall complete flavor. It takes away from everything else because you want that original bourbon and whiskey to really come through. A friend and I, Bourbon Barry, we talk about the kiss, a kiss of honey, a kiss of maple. We like that. You want the barrel, the flavoring to complement, not dominate. You want to keep track, take notes, because if you're going to do this, most people do it more than once. Because if you fail the first time, it's not a failure. You're learning. Do it again. Get something good. Have fun. Then think, what am I doing with these? These? Gifts. And Andy and Bill were so happy to share it. They were so excited. They were posting about it on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. They were posting about it. So we got to see and hear about the process that they were doing, the excitement as they were tasting it. I remember Andy was coming on it seemed like every 3 or 4 days, big smile on his face, happiness, and he was so happy when this was done. Now, if your label looks great, doesn't mean what's inside is going to be great. But your label is going to give me a clue about what I'm drinking. So that's it. That's my take on barrel projects. They're not above you. They're not below you. They're just your choice. Like every single thing in the bourbon whiskey industry. You could choose to make a bourbon. You could choose to do a barrel project. You could choose to do whiskey. You could choose to share it. Hell, you can get a 5-gallon barrel and just drink it all yourself. It's probably crazy because if I made something good, I want to share it. But most of all, find something that makes you happy. And if a barrel project makes you happy, who cares? Who cares? So I'm going to end by just, which one do we want to open? Let's crack this one right here. Nah, it's a little too tough to crack. Let's go with the screw top. We'll give Andy's Dr. Pepper a little try right here. It's a little Eagle Rare. Give myself just a little pour. We'll close this bad boy up. And Andy, thank you very much. I could smell this already. It smells fantastic. I'm going to give you a quick review on this one. This is the Dr. Pepper Eagle Rare. It's got that classic Eagle Rare color, a light gold, maybe with definitely a lot of legs, more legs on this one than normal. Maybe a little hint of darker. The nose smells like a sugared up Eagle Rare. Don't have to get into the notes. We know it's cherry. You could definitely smell some kind of cola in here also. It's definitely the Dr. Pepper, that nice cherry caramel note that Eagle Rare is known for. Cheers. Yeah, this is delicious. This is a kiss of Dr. Pepper, a kiss of sweetness. It's got that nice accentuated cherry. Andy, you did a great job with this. Why don't you go find out what you would like to make? Get yourself a barrel project. Figure it out. You want to do it? Share with Angry Mac. Share with your friends. Take it to your next bottle share. But most of all, find the people you love. Give them a hug. Tomorrow's no guarantee. Life's too damn short to worry about what the other people think about you.